21st. We're on day 3 of rain. It's going to rain for like a week. We got like 15 acres of hay laying on the ground that we didn't finish because nobody got on it soon enough. It's getting rained on. It'll get rained on the rest of this week. It's supposed to rain literally every day for a week straight. And, well, we're out of work today. So, we went and grabbed us some breakfast and we're going to go do some work on some tractors. And, get ready for when the rain stops. Do whatever we can find to do. Got a whole lot of hay bales that need to be moved, so if rain slows down long enough, we'll go out there and do that. But we'll catch up with you later. Speaking of which, I need to find out what the situation is on the belts on the baler. I don't know whether they came in or not. Haven't heard. I know it took a long time to get them the last time, but you see this hay over here. It's good and brown now. Way past due. But anyways, we'll get to it. We're just happy it's raining. I think it's raining, y'all. I think it's raining pretty good. Oh, we just sitting here changing oil in 1206. This is Dad's idea right here. He got him a bucket top and filled it full of holes one day, so that you don't drop the plug in there when you're dumping the oil. It splatters just a little tiny bit, but for the most part, all the oil goes right on down in there pretty good. I got my monkey wrench here. I don't know what you call these things, but it works good for taking filters loose. Because once you get the filter down so far, you can't get a socket in there. So it works pretty good for this job. And then they just drop. Dump them in the bucket. Fill them back up with oil. Dad tried to call me, but there's not enough good service around here to be able to hear what he wants to tell me. He don't want nothing anyways. Fire the old girl up. Make sure she's not leaking after her oil change. Let her see her run a minute. Make sure there's no leaks. I used to love riding this tractor around. Old 1206. Just something about the way this motor purrs compared to all the other ones. I always loved it. I don't see any leaks. Looks like we might have did the right job. Well, y'all, change oil in 1206. We did the oil on the 4610. We looked at tinker a little bit. We looked at the outlets a little bit. We did some other stuff. Gonna go change the oil on the next tractor since it's pouring down raining. Anyways, catch you in a minute. Drain the oil. Change the filters. Add the oil. Big downside to very high roof. You still get wet. Don't see any leaks yet. Let's hope we don't. These canister filters. Morning, y'all. Day 2 of getting rained out. Chris changed the oil in the 2640 yesterday evening, but the battery's dead on it, so we got the charger on it. We got to do some more stuff. You get some poop out of here. Take this oil back to the house. Well, Dad come up here the other day with the bush hog on the skid loader and went in here and chopped all this tall grass down. He didn't cut it all the way down, but he cut it down. We need to come in here, basically cut this tree down. He cut down all the trees that were growing up right there. There's an international disc and a roller sitting in that pile right there. They need to come out. So we're gonna probably have to come up here and pick them up off the trees or something. But anyways, I think that tree right there is growing through it too. We gotta cut them out of there. But he cut the rest of this down. But that's like a 1,000-gallon water tank that we used to haul water to the cows with down the road when things got short. That manure tank right there don't have any tires or wheels on it. It's just sitting on blocks. It's basically all rusted out. That's some of them railroad ties my grandpa used to bring home and stack up in that corner. Pretty much been there most of my life. But got a whole lot of hay out there getting wet. A whole lot of hay bales out there need to be moved yet. But we're gonna go down here and work on the baler for a minute, I think. But yeah, Dad cut all that down with his bush hog the other day. We gotta get that disc and roller out and take it back to the house. And then we can probably turn the cows in there and let them eat it. He chopped down them trees with a bush hog. Dad balled it up. It was already raining by then, but Dad balled it up on that last bale, and so it needs to be cleaned out and make sure it's ready to go for the next one. He just parked it. Well, he balled it up, but it's not terrible. Now, all these little New Hollands have a double oil pan because the drive shaft goes through the middle. So they have a double drain on all these little New Hollands. This is the 55 Workmaster. I assume all the rest of them are the same in this regard. The 48 over there is the same way. They all have that little double oil pan for the dry shaft to go through the middle. So it makes it kind of hard when you're putting oil back in it to get the right amount and get it right on the stick. Well, we're going to change the oil in this Honda 420 Rancher. This one here is the newer one. This one's a fuel injected. 420s are fuel injected. And so basically you pop six connectors out and the whole thing comes off. Take the seat off, pop 6 connectors on each side, 6 little push-ins, and the whole thing comes off so that you can get to the oil filter, which is right there. So that's how this one works. But I don't have my pallet forks handy. Otherwise, I'd use a loader and pick this thing up where I can look at it. But we're going to do it this way. We just have to crawl down the ground, try to reach up there and find an oil plug, wherever it's at. But anyways, that's what we're doing right now. Called Dad a little bit ago and told him to get me a couple more filters for the other tractors. He's in Warrenton doing stuff. Well, we changed the oil in this 420 today. This 420 Rancher. Then we started up and let it run. Now we're waiting for the oil to drain back down, so we can check it again. If you don't know on these things, you check them when they're cold, because if you start it, it sucks all the oil up in the oil cooler. And if you keep adding oil to it thinking it don't have none, then you'll mess up because you'll add too much. So that's just how these work. Any of them's got that oil cooler up in their front. And that oil cooler and that fan makes things a lot nicer to ride around with compared to the old ones where they just got red hot on you. You'd be sitting there cooking. Well, this thing here cut the fan on. When that fan cuts on, it blows all that heat off that motor. It's really nice. But we got to wait for that to run back down so we can check it and make sure we got it right. But anyways, we got to go do the next one now. Well, we went and got the other one. This one's a 350 Rancher. This one's carbureted. Well, the other day, it needs some oil in it. Well, Dad went and got some oil, dumped some oil in there. He got a jug. It was laying there, had some oil in it, looked at it. He put some oil in it. Well, ever since then, the oil light's been on, and he hasn't run it. I just fired up. It smokes like a freight train. It smokes like smoke smokes. So I'm going to change the oil on this one, see if we can't get that oil light to go away. And if that doesn't, we'll fix it. I guess we're going to have to send it to the shop because he can't ride around with that oil light on. But anyways, yeah, he said he thought it was good oil he dumped in there. But I don't know what he dumped in there, but it must not have been good oil. Or it wasn't the right kind of oil or something. But anyways, so it's been parked ever since. Looks like he's got diesel fuel in there in the sprayer. Spraying something with it. Killing something around here. But anyways, we're going to do this one next. This one here, I think it's an 04 model. This is the one the shed fell on. So, that shed that used to be right there where that hoist is, when that shed fell down, the truss come right down on the top of this four-wheeler right here and pinned it straight to the ground. I mean, the whole way to the shed was sitting on the four-wheeler. It had shoved it all the way down to the ground. And so we had to jack the shed up to get the four-wheeler out. And Dad's Goldwing at the time was sitting in between the trusses, so it didn't get hurt. But this four-wheeler here took the blunt of the blow years ago, back in 2010. But let's see if we can't figure out what's wrong with it today. If not, we'll send it off to the shop and let somebody else figure it out. Well, the oil coming out is black and it's kind of watery. A little bit watery. But anyways, I don't know, we'll see what happens. So this one here pretty much is just like the other one. And they're all in the same spot. That's where the oil filter is. This one's got dipstick here. The other one over there has got dipstick on the other side. This one's got an oil fill on the other side. So, but they all pretty much use the same filter. All of them use the same filter. For all these from the back in the 80s back on up to the
to the brand new ones. All use the same oil filter, pretty much. Now down there on the bottom, that's 17 millimeter. And then these are 8 millimeter. One of Dad's little friends come to visit. He's always videoing rabbits in years past. Well, this one come out here to visit me. I guess I was quiet enough that he wasn't worried about me. We used to have some tame rabbits that got turned loose and run around here on the farm for a couple of years. I guess they all got ate eventually. See what I said about smoking? It's got a nice cloud. Our oil light's still on though. If I speed the motor up a little bit, it goes out, but otherwise it's still on. I guess we'll have to let somebody figure this one out. Or see where that thing connects up to. I didn't realize I was still zoomed in. It goes away a little bit, but it's still smoking. Spreading a little poopy out here. The hay off now, we can spread a little poopy. Chris is going to take a few loads out, see how it goes. I'm going to go grab me another tractor and do another oil change here in a minute. I just want to make sure he's got this down before I take off. Make sure this thing all works because we ain't used it in a while. Well, Dad's front hitch he made. It's been rattling around, bouncing around the hayfield. Well, I knew there was a wagon pin rattling, but it was definitely loose. So I went to try to tighten it up. And, well, we snapped the bolt off by hand. So it was just a ratchet. So we're going to go ahead and put some new ones in there. Tighten it back up again. Hopefully that'll fix it for a little while. I got the oil changed in it, just like the last one. Pretty much identical, except this motor oil fill tube is up there on top. The other motor has one down here and then one in the back, because they could use that motor for different applications. So it had different places you could put oil in it. So it's starting to rain on us, so we better hurry up because we got to take this back out in the field, get the four-wheeler. I almost forgot to put diesel fuel in it before I took it back to the field. Ordinarily, we don't leave them out in the field, but this, I'll leave this out there and bring the four-wheeler back, because I don't have nobody to help me right now. So that's what we're going to do.